afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill. That is the Coffee Company. It's another quite a nice day, actually. Still very quiet. I don't know where everyone is, but it is the second day of spring. The leaves are starting to bloom, and we're going to chill out. There's nothing happening in the world, is there? I don't know. I've not heard anything happening. There are no arguments, are there? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I have sent the link out to a few people, so if someone turns up in the stream, they turn up. But for now, we're just going to chill on our lonesome, and we're going to make ourselves a coffee, because I love a coffee. Maybe there's going to be some stuff happening, I don't know. But that is the beauty of the Coffee Company. You never know what you're going to talk about. Ever. 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 But before we make a coffee for ourselves, let's see who is in the chat. Right, it's Bobby K. It's Bobby K. Big up, Bobby. Probably not here at the moment because she sent this at 10:24 a.m. So it was a few hours ago, but hopefully you're having a great day, buddy. Mr. Eugene Singh. Hi, everyone. Big up, big up. Thanks for sending over the crew. Absolutely, absolutely. Ellie's in the house, or what was in the house. Hey, Ben. Good afternoon. Much love to all you in the chat. Big up, Ellie. Hope to see you soon. Hopefully you bring some baklava because it's absolutely fantastic. Cuba99 is in the house. Big up, Ben, and all in chat. Struggling to stay awake at the moment, so hopefully today is chill, but not too chill. You know we're going to be chilling in here, buddy. You know we're going to be chilling. Mr. Chris Agenbar, lovely to see you yesterday, sir. Big up, big up, big up. Hopefully you're well. Mr. Mark Cousins, the wonder of Yeovil himself. Afternoon, Ben. Hope you're well. Big up, Mark. Hopefully you are well. Hopefully you are well. Ian's in the house. Lovely to see he was on holiday, but he's back according to this message. Big up, everyone. Where's my damn coffee? My flight didn't get in till 1:30 a.m. this morning. God, that sucks. That sucks. There, and that is... Hopefully you're having a great day. Hopefully you got some sleep. Hopefully you got a couple of hours of sleep. But it's very interesting. Stuart's in the house. Afternoon, Ben. Afternoon, everyone in chat. Good afternoon, Ben. Hello, everyone in chat. Afternoon, Mr. Jason Bell. Hopefully you're well. Hopefully you're well. Another member of the Phil Army is in the house. Mr. Philly 2109. Big up, everyone. Hopefully you enjoy the show. Explosions incoming. Popcorn ready. We'll see. We will see. Oh, Daigle sent something. What's Daigle saying? Oh, Daigle sent something. You never know who will turn up either. You never know who's going to turn up in the Coffee Company. Whether it's Chris Agenbar, any of the crew. You never know if it's Cuba99 or Mark the Window Cleaner. Jermaine Defoe was over there once, but he didn't stop by, so he almost came in. One day, Jermaine Defoe is going to walk through that door on the stream, and we're all going to go mental. Look forward to it. On the bright side, I have the day off. Great stuff. Go to bed. After you watch the show, though. Afternoon, good morning, Mr. Scott M. Hopefully you are doing well. I am doing well as well, sir. I am doing well. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is enjoying the sunshine. The sun is back. The sun is coming back. Here comes the sun, in the words of the Beatles. I can't listen to that, Brian, the king of the voice chat. I cannot listen to that on stream, just in case. But it's time for a coffee. What do we have? We've got Coffee on Tour. We should do another 109E just to make sure that's dialed in. That's a good idea. We will have a flat white. Let us see if this coffee's dialed in. It's been tricky to dial it in the last couple of days. I think it's because I left it sitting there for a couple of days because I was on holiday. Jermaine Defoe is one of my favourite all-time players. Absolutely, love that man. What a great bloke. Really nice guy. Right. I need to grind a bit of coffee, so I'm throwing it in my plant. Yes, I just gave my tree coffee. And what? And what? How is everyone doing today? How is everyone? Hopefully you're well. What's your plan for the day? Let's see how this coffee goes. Afternoon, Mr. Steve D, sir. Afternoon, buddy. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're doing well. We're going to go into one of our wonderful Japanese cups. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. It's going to be still slightly too coarse, but oh well. Calling that 20 seconds. Yep, 20 seconds. So maybe if we make this finer again, just a tiny bit more, maybe that will sort it. We're going to have to redial all our coffee stuff because it is now becoming spring. There's going to be a lot more moisture in the air. There's going to be a lot more heat in the air, so we're going to have to redial all our equipment, which is really annoying. But that is the struggle of being a coffee person, whether you're a roaster or a barista, or it's very change of seasons are a nightmare. Going for a flat white, so we've not frothed it too much, and we're going to pour it quiet. Double shot coffee. Smaller cup. And let's see what it tastes like. We'll see what it tastes like. But yeah, change of seasons are really annoying in the coffee industry. You go from having quite dry weather to really soupy weather. Have to also, because it's not only the change of seasons, you've got central heating. When you turn central heating off, you're going to have a different environment inside your shop. It's going to be a more moisture in the air. So again, more things to change on your coffee machine, and we need to redial our coffee machine at some point anyway. We will probably do that next Monday. We will redo our volumetrics to make sure that we are bang on the money. But can't be asked. It's already starting to get a bit warm. 1 minute voice message. How am I going to listen to that? How am I going to listen to a 1 minute voice? Everyone knows it's coffee time. It is coffee time. But what is happening today? I have no idea. So let's Let's put that back in there. Put that on. There we go. Put that in there. Make sure everyone sees it. How do they get on in places like New York where the temperature difference can be 60 degrees C over it? That is why you need top quality employees for your business. A lot of the problem of coffee shops is they do not train people properly. You're not employing people that know how to redial a machine like that. It's in my career, I've worked in teams, because I've worked in more teams than probably the majority of people I know, with different people in. I once worked in a team with 5 people who were at the top of their respective their barista category. We all knew what to do. And I go to some shops like Starbucks, for example. This isn't a what's it called, a slight on Starbucks or a Costa or Nero or all of them, the coffee chains. But they never have one person who knows what they're doing. You need one of those people. So, oh, damn it, this is not running properly. Flick a switch, done in 5 seconds. You're not having to do diagnostics and refractometer tests or just, water's too hot. Change the temperature by 0.2 degrees, bang on. You need people in your shop that know how to do that. And training is a dying art, and hopefully we can bring that back. Sad period for us continues for us, so depressed to see another reset. Leave it out. We aren't going to talk about football, Faz. I understand what you mean. It's trouble for many people. Some people are happy, some people are not. But yeah, we're not going to talk about football because it's making me depressed. I do go out of my way now not to go on shows because I don't want to stress. What's the point? Mr. Carl Higgins, afternoon everyone. Up the Spurs, up Conte, up Redknapp apparently. I can smell your coffee. Great stuff. Big up Perchy. Hopefully you are doing well. A lot of places in the US use year-round climate control managing temperature and humidity. Yeah, a lot of places do. It's not a substitute for having a proper barista. Although you might seem to think, if we just control the time, we don't need to employ someone. We can just keep the settings of the machine. No, you still need someone. You need the climate control. That is a fix, but it's not a solution. A solution is to have someone that knows what they're doing. I walked into a shop called Dada the other day in Loughton. Let's have my coffee first. Yeah, that needs changing a bit. But I'll let that sit for a while. I went to a place called Dada the other day and I tasted their coffee. It was actually all right. They use coffee from a roaster in Harlow. I can't remember what the roaster's called. Either way. Had a chat. Not offensive coffee. Had a chat with her. It was a tiny bit sour. It's quite a lot of cherry flavour, but it was a tiny bit sour at the end of it. So I asked her what was the temperature of the machine, and she said it was 93. Drop it by a degree, gone. You need that. You need to have someone that knows what it's an art to be able to know how to do that. And yeah, same. The extraction time was fine. The temperature of the water. The variables always help. Always have variables. Hope you're well, Calf 21 off 250 on my channel. No football talk. It's depressing. Well done, sir. You're going to overtake me already. It's the problem. Because I don't talk about football, no one gives a shit what I say. And it's one of the reasons I'm stopping to talk about football because, I will never get proper views on my channel because toxicity sells. And we have gone out of our way, not saying you're toxic, by the way, buddy. I don't talk about football because football always leads into toxicity. Always. Every single time. And we all, so well done, buddy. But we need to get those up. We need more people. We need more people to talk about non-toxicity. And speaking of which, we've got the least toxic person in the world who knows all about Kit Kats being chocolate bars. It's Cuba99.
Big up, mate. I don't know about least toxic. According to some, I'm highly toxic. So, yeah, but I think I'm starting this sort of attitude that before you were, really, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Just saying, forget the football. I'm going to watch a movie.
Yeah.
So, it's like this morning. You know, there's loads going on. Got involved in some of the WhatsApp chats, and then after a while, I thought, you know what? I don't even care about this. I'm just going to listen to some music. So that's all I've done really today. That just made me think. What's the it's a question for chat, really, isn't it? What's the most inspiring piece of music, in your opinion?
Oh,
just because it's all about emotion, isn't it? So
yeah,
any kind of
I want
emotion.
everyone to answer that question. That's a great question. Oh,
see,
most
for
inspiring
me,
music.
I've got a go-to with a lot of them, a lot of things, and Carl Orff's Carmina Burana.
Beautiful,
fantastic bit of music. For people that don't know it, it's really well known for things like the film Excalibur, when they have a sort of midnight charge into an impossible battle situation. It's just this choir-based, really powerful, classical bit of music. Amazing stuff. Gets me every time. It's like that heroism bit rolled up into a sort of audio bite, really. Fantastic. But there's lots of it. There's so many classical pieces that people know, but they might not know the name of it or who the composer is. Yeah. But you recognise the piece from somewhere.
That melody, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so infinitely usable as classical stuff.
For me, I'm going to go modern. I'm going to say it's got to be something like Johnny B. Good. How many songs are built off of the 12-bar blues? And I could even go further back than that. It's either one of these two. It's either Johnny B. Good or it's That'll Be the Day by Buddy Holly. It's one of those two. Because without those two songs, you don't have the Beatles, for example. And if you don't have the Beatles, you got none of it. Imagine the Beatles didn't exist. What a horrible world that would be. But how many people do we, like my mum used to always tells the story how she would get the bus home when she was about 6 years old from the school she went to. What is it called? Whatever the school is. Can't remember.
I'll throw another one into there, more recent than some of the classical stuff. But how about the Kinks?
The Kinks, yeah.
You really got me. That one is just because that's for me. That's kind of the birthplace of punk.
It is.
So many picks up the inspiration from them.
One of my
Sex Pistols very, very much did that. There's another one, Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
Anarchy in the UK. Amazing song for me.
Yeah.
It's all about the attitude. Again, it goes back down to it's emotion. The music is all about emotion.
Yeah.
Pure
All about
feeling.
emotion. If you go back to the song you brought up, you really got me going. If you listen to that guitar part, it's one of the worst guitar parts you've ever heard. But it's so aggressive. That was like, and the reason it sounded like that, fun fact, is because they had an argument before they recorded it, and apparently someone slashed the amplifier, and they didn't have the time to get another amplifier, so they just played on a broken amplifier, which is why it's so
brilliant,
aggressive and distorted. Again, that goes back to the Beatles. Helter Skelter. A lot of people attribute Helter Skelter to an actual metal song because it's just that heavy for the 60s. You hear that and you think, God, this is the 60s. This was flower power. And suddenly the Beatles are coming out with metal.
Yeah.
It's the birthplace of that. Let's see what everyone's saying. Con te Palatino at the right moment. That song it's absolutely beautiful song. Beautiful song. Without the Beatles, we never got the Ramones. Absolutely. Smack my bitch up, the prodigy.
no, there is something to be said for it. That's a really raw thing again, isn't it? It's a Prodigy kind of set a benchmark for just it basically it's kind of an evolution from the punk scene, isn't it? It's going into they're so distinctive. I like the fact that the Keith Flint, he was basically a dancer with a group before to start with, and then he eventually had to take over vocals, and then his vocals became one of the most distinctive things about them.
Cuba's favourite bedroom song, So Solid, 21 Seconds. The Stones seen them live at Hyde Park. Yeah, the Stones were great. James Taylor, Fire and Rain. That's Good Day, Bob. Yeah, Change Gonna Come by Sam. But even if you go to old school country music from like Hank Williams the First or Hank Williams Senior, how much modern country? How all country is the basis of all music. When Leo,
I don't know if you can really call people like that Tammy Wynette old school, but I used to listen to quite a bit of Tammy Wynette, but I suppose it's going back a bit. It's a good 30, 40 years old.
Yeah, like when Leo Fender designed the Fender Telecaster in 1950. Well, then it was called the Esquire, and then it became the Broadcaster, and then it became the Telecaster. He designed a tool, or as Brad Paisley calls it, a cutting board with a neck. He designed something that's still. How many people they still use the Fender Telecaster? They still use it. They still use a design made in 1950. It's madness.
Well, it's just that interesting sound, isn't it? Everybody's always looking for that unique thing, aren't they? The musical, like scouts will be going out everywhere just looking for that latest craze that's about to hit.
Yeah,
just find that original sound. So I think it's a lot more difficult nowadays because people have tried most things.
Yeah, they tried to modernize it, and I think this doesn't sound good. We have more technology, and we've got more brain power, and we've got more innovation, but we still go back to those same nostalgic things. The Les Paul. Every single person in this chat grew up listening to a Gibson Les Paul. That you can going back to the Beatles with Eric Clapton, because Eric Clapton played in that song, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. If that was also, the guitar was called Lucy. It was a bright red Les Paul. How many people have listened to these pieces of gear? Jimmy Page. Everyone loves Jimmy Page, the wizard, absolute wizard.
I mean, I must admit, Cashmere is one of my go-to songs. I just love the guitar riff in it all the way through.
Dan Electro. He picked up a crappy Dan Electro and he made it awesome. It's madness how these old bits of gear are still influencing music. Looks like Old Dog still has new tricks.
Oh, and recently, talking of remakes, the Johnny Cash's final song, the cover of the Nine Inch Nails one.
Yeah, what a song, Hurts.
Jesus Christ, did that hit me?
Haunting.
Yeah.
How many?
It's so rare I get sort of lump in the throat, tear in the eye about anything. I mean, last time was yesterday when I stubbed my toe, of course. But
of course. How many guitar players? That was the first song I learned. That was the first song I learned. And how many other people learn that song first? Because it's an easy riff, but it's so haunting. It's so beautiful. And it's just like, Drink Up the Zoider by the Wurzels.
Spelled cider wrong. You should know better, Mark. Zoider.
Zoider. Afternoon, Mr. Graham. Afternoon, buddy. Hopefully you're well. Good to see you yesterday. Neil Young. Neil Young's great. That's a powerful song. Everyone put in their most, I think a few of you have already done it, most, like things like Jimmy Page. Not Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, when he started using a fuzz pedal, that which was made by Macari's in Denmark Street. I don't know where the shop is now, but they've moved out of Denmark Street. Like old germanium resistors, and everyone was like, that's not gonna. Like everyone at that time, again, everyone like Leo Fender was saying, no, we don't want distortion. We want our amps to be as clean and loud as possible. And then
there's a great story I heard about Jimi Hendrix and one of the press reporters going to watch a concert of his because he was obviously getting so big and he had to do a piece about him. So he went to the concert and afterwards, when he was writing it up, he said it was amazing. You see him playing and then halfway through he would do one riff and just let his hand go over the audience like that. And all of the audience thought the music was coming out of his hand.
Yeah.
They were so mesmerized by what he was doing. It's funny, weird chap as well. He said, you can't play guitar unless you know how to play it with your teeth.
Yeah. Hendrix was it?
Yeah. He's got to be the legendary guitarist of all time.
He's what him, Clapton, them two are probably...
Clapton always wanted to be Hendrix, didn't he? I don't think
he admitted that. But
he's great, but there's it's like the difference between world class and genius conversations, isn't
it? Clapton is a genius though in his own way. Him, Hendrix, and Page were just like they were monsters. Like they were.
I think that's probably where I think Clapton went wrong is he actually made the mistake of saying he wanted to be better than Hendrix, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think he should have just ignored that and just did his own thing, just be great in his own right.
The problem is he had to follow him because both of them were in that same. They were coming from that sort of Freddie King influence. They all came from that blues thing, so they had to go in that same path.
And don't they say what's his name? Mark Knopfler. Don't they say he created the hardest guitar piece to play out of all popular songs? I've forgotten which one it was now.
I'd have to remember that one. But even that Mark Knopfler said that none of those guys you just mentioned were on a level with a guy that I absolutely, which is Chet Atkins. For anyone that's never listened to Chet Atkins play, Chet Atkins is a genius. He was able to play every string on the guitar with every single one of his fingers independently. He was he would eat like any of the guitar gods that we think in their sleep because he would just said it was boring where I lived, so I had a guitar, so I spent all day just doing like the bass, the two bass notes. He would just do that all day. Mr. Sandman, how many people have heard Mr. Sandman by Chet Atkins? He was an absolute monster. And people need to know more about Chet Atkins.
Of course, Mark Knopfler, it'll be Sultans of Swing, won't it? That's got a great guitar solo. That's got to be
Swing. Money for Nothing's probably the best opening riff of any song ever.
Ooh, I don't know about that. What about Satisfaction, Rolling Stones?
No, I put Money for Nothing above that.
Interesting. It's just the Stones one is so it's like so brutal, so in your face.
As again, that was the fuzz pedal, the tone bender made by, going back to Vox, were like, I don't want to make clean amps. I want amps that get absolutely raunchy and aggressive and distorted, but in a musical way.
Yeah,
Which is
I agree.
Nick Denny, the guy that designed the Vox AC15 and the AC30, he was deaf. He was totally and utterly deaf. So what he was actually hearing was completely different to the thing he was making. So he had no clue what his product sounded like. But what he made was unbelievable. Like, people would have to scream at him so he could hear them. He just like, was an utter genius.
It's weird how you can get away with certain jobs where you're lacking what would seem to be the most obvious tool you need for it. I mean, God knows, we've got a director of football that's blind, apparently.
Yeah, apparently
so. No football.
Have you seen the Prince solo on While My Guitar Gently Weeps during the George Harrison Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction? Absolutely. It's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely.
I've watched that one. I must admit.
It's really something special. It is absolutely brilliant. Mick Box of Uriah, my hubby's favourite band. Pretty nifty on the guitar. July Morning is a great track of theirs. Need to look that up. Gilmour, more for the effects. He was an unbelievable guitar player. Not that I'm a fan of Pink Floyd at all. I'm a massive fan of David Gilmour, the way he plays, because of the effect. Again, he's another person that's influenced the way I went to a Dutch indie band the other night. And one of the guitar parts was totally David Gilmour. That echo and the delay that comes out, and it's sparkling. That sort of clean headroom. Unbelievable style of guitar playing from David Gilmour. Big fan.
There was ages back. It must have been late 1980s, early 1990s. I went to a gig in, let's think where it was, probably Bournemouth, I think it was.
Yeah.
Went to watch Transvision Vamp at the time, Wendy James and all her glory at the time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't them that really sounded so good. It was the backing group called And Why Not?
Yeah.
And they did a song called Move Your Skin. Now, it didn't do all that well in the charts, but on the night, live, damn, they hit it. The guitar was just belting through. It was just absolutely superb. And you sometimes get these little gems. They're not polished properly, but it's like really raw and something primal about it. I love it when they do. It's like some of my favorite groups as well, the likes of, even Slipknot, if you're going to go really hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
I loved it when they started off because it sounded like everything was recorded in their garage after they'd had a few cans. And then they said literally it was like that. It's just a group of friends getting together and jamming, basically, and you make a song out of it.
Yeah. And it's what you need sometimes, just have real music. I mean, can we, like, people that, one of the things I'm really jealous of, if people were at Colchester University and AC/DC turned up in the 19th and no one had heard of them and they made everyone deaf. Hello.
You're right.
Oh, we've got people on the stream as well.
You're on the stream.
We're on the stream. The stream.
Big up, mate. How's it going?
Hello.
Everyone say hello to Mark and Mandy in the chat. Chuck Berry was amazing. Johnny B. Good. Awesome. When Chaz Handler asked Hendrix to come over to the UK so he can manage him, Hendrix agreed only if he can meet Eric Clapton.
Hendrix had some funny little quirks to him as well. It's like Bob Marley. He'd arrange his tours so he could follow Ozzy Ardiles around.
Yeah.
It's just, why not? They just tie it in with things you want to do. That's the beauty of being famous and talented. People bend to your will.
The best thing that Hendrix ever did was he played Sgt. Pepper's one day after it was released in the Albert Hall in front of the Beatles, and he used the tremolo arm so hard that the guitar went out of tune. So he went to Paul. He said, "Hey Paul, can you tune my guitar, please?" Like, that's how mental Jimi Hendrix was. He was just he was mental.
Yeah,
Imagine covering a song that came out a day before.
I mean, who could you pick out nowadays that's got that kind of off the wall sort of genius about them when it comes to music?
And just bollocks to cover the biggest band in the world song at the time and do it in his way and then call them out afterwards. But Eric Clapton was hiding under the seat because he didn't want to be called up to the stage to tune his guitar. Because he just was genius. Who's your favourite group, Mandy?
Favourite group?
Yeah, favourite group. Seems we're having a music conversation.
I'll have to think about that one. What, today or past?
Anytime. Unless there is a new band today.
No, I used to be
Any new bands?
a big fan that I've seen concert 3 times. That was UB40.
UB40 are good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Red Wine.
Yeah.
There. Was Bob Marley a Spurs fan? I think he was when we actually played football.
Yeah, I think it was sort of clarified that he was basically an Ozzy Ardiles fan, and so Spurs fan by default.
Yeah, absolutely. Afternoon, Mark and Mandy from Stuart. Asking Sir Paul McCartney to tune your guitar is next level. Absolutely. It's like it's mental. Afternoon. Woohoo! Yes, he was. All joking
The question is, did Paul McCartney come down and actually do it?
Yes, he did.
He did. Brilliant.
Paul McCartney was just a nice guy. If you asked him to do something, he's just a nice guy. All joking aside, have you guys seen Bullet Train yet? Surprise movie of 2022 for me. A nice mix of Guy Ritchie and Bruckheimer. And no, I've not seen it.
It is so much fun. Two movies in the last year that I've watched absolutely blew me away with just pure enjoyment. That was one of them. The other one is the one I watched the other night, Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear is laugh out loud stupidity right the way through.
I'm going to have to watch that film. I need laugh out loud stupidity.
It's kind of got a vibe of, have you seen Fargo?
Yeah.
That sort of level of incompetence is in the film. It drives it along. It's funny, although so much of the film's about a bear, the funny bits aren't the bear itself, which is a bit overdone. Yeah. It's all the absolute stupidity of the people that are involved with it.
Yeah. Stupidity is hilarious. And you need that. Favourite group for me is Queen.
Oh, good shout. Yeah.
I personally think Queen is a bit overrated, but I do like Brian May's guitar playing. I think he's excellent. Anyone that brings 30 amplifiers to a gig is brilliant.
That's another one of my favourite go-to songs, the Supersonic.
Yeah. Absolutely genius of a bloke. Still plays with his his old coins that he plays. It was a 70s thing. Play with coins because couldn't afford picks. Deep Purple. Imagine a Deep Purple concert in the 70s. You would be deaf by the end of it. Yeah. You would be deaf. Watched it the other day. Really liked it. Even Sir Paul knew where he falls in the grand scheme of things, and people knew how good Sir Paul McCartney was. Probably one of the greatest songwriters ever. Well, he probably is. It's just needs to be said. I was going to say UB40, but only if they did an original tune, which they didn't.
No, a lot of it was copied.
Yeah, but most bands do.
But they put their touch to it, which I liked.
How many artists have made original songs in the last 30 years? Everything comes from something, didn't it, Keith? Everything has to be.
How about people like Adele?
Adele was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
That's another go-to. What a voice, and the fact she's Spurs as well. It gives her that extra couple of points on the sort of rating scale, doesn't it?
One of my favourite videos I like to go back to is a video by Rick Beato, the music producer, and he deep dives into that Adele song that she just released, and he was like, "Why is Adele always getting diamond hits? Because it is a woman who can sing with a real piano, real instruments, and a real voice. It's not auto-tuned. That's why everyone listens to it, because it's real. And people are fed up with fake. And that's what everyone needs to watch that video. I will link it at the end of the show, and I think everyone should watch it because Rick Beato is great. One thing I noticed on vacation, so much country. They didn't expect to hear so much of it in the Caribbean. Country music is back. Country music is coming back.
Like a bit of country.
That's my fault. Country music's great.
Yeah, probably.
You need to get into it, Coobs. Country music's brilliant.
Yeah, I don't mind country at all. Even some of the sort of cheesy, overplayed stuff.
I love the cheesy country music.
I mean, Achy Breaky Heart, for example.
Yeah.
Everybody got sick of it, but it was good. I could listen to it. There's something about the sound, isn't it? As soon as you get into that sort of whine sound that goes with it, you're hooked then.
Absolutely love it. There's a museum in Kentucky that has a taxidermied bear, and they call him Pablo Escobar. Good to know. Good to know. It's a great one. Bob is saying Cocaine Bear, the best. It basically says on the tin kind of movie, if you like the Farrell Brothers, you will love it. I need to watch this film apparently. My favourite newish band is Wet Leg. Pretty simple indie rock and roll laced with innuendo, right up my alley. Woo! He didn't say woo,
even the right up my alley's linked with innuendo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Carlos Santana, Wizard. Yeah, Carlos Santana.
Yeah.
John Denver. Love John Denver. Farrelly Brothers.
It tends to now lately I find there's very few bands that I like or artists that I like. It's just occasional songs. There's some things that will grab me, like Pumped Up Kicks I thought was a really good track recently. I can't even remember who did it. I can't remember the name of the band. And the other one, again, I didn't think I'd be into this kind of mainstream stuff. But there was Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars doing that Uptown Funk.
Yeah.
What a song. I just love it. There's just something about it. I don't know what it is. Mind you, I love funk anyway. Stevie Wonder, Superstition, one of my favourite.
I think it's the same one of the producers of Stevie Wonder worked on that song. I can't remember who it is, but
that makes sense.
A lot of Bruno Mars's music is produced by a lot of the old school Motown. I love Bruno Mars's music. I think it's excellent. It's that he knows how to write a song, and it's always well produced, and it's always hits the mark. Graham was saying, I saw them in the 70s and I am deaf. Yes, you are. Apparently. Anyone that went to a Deep Purple concert in the 70s is slightly deaf. On the rating scale, I'd give Adele 1. Adele was lovely. Bam Bam Bigelow, the wrestler. George Benson vocals and amazing on guitar, King Kong, I don't know who this person is, but apparently they're trying to troll me today. Greatest wrestler ever. Bobby the Brain Hen and Matt. I mean, he's just going into wrestlers. Wrestling's great. Favourite bands and artists: Stone Roses, Beastie Boys, The Charlatans, Prince, Stones, Hendrix, and Marvin Gaye. Some brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Favourite band, Coover, of all time? I know you're a metal geezer, so...
I mean, a lot of the stuff I like is metal and really heavy stuff, but I've got a really wide range of things I love, all the way from classical to... I even like some opera as well. But I think go-to band that always makes me happy, because they do so many variations of things, it's got to be... Let's think. This thing I was going to go with, it's got to be Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin all the way. I just love the way they could go into that sort of really heavy sort of guitar type riff, or really heavily drum bass thing all of a sudden, and then drop it into a really bluesy sort of. I just think I've got brilliant range, a really well put together band. Every single band member pulls their weight. It's not like you're looking at a couple and the others are tagging along.
John Bonham, the king of rhythm at the time. I started learning Black Dog last night because it's one of my favourite Zeppelin songs. It's so bluesy. It's so blue. It's just all blues. But it was dialed up to 11, just like how it should be. Absolutely. The best band is The Killers. Unreal, most underrated ever. Bloody hell. Great stuff. Great stuff. Favourite band ever, Mandy?
Yeah, I'm just sitting there thinking, actually.
You're going to be thinking all day, Mandy. We need an answer by the end of the stream.
The Kinks as well. I can always listen to the Kinks.
The Kinks. Stones was early stuff was very bluesy. Yeah, it was.
Mm.
Very
I
bluesy.
went to so many concerts back in the day, but a lot of them were like sort of Luther Vandross, George Benson. Those were solo singers.
Luther Vandross sounds like Tottenham. uh,
got to give another shout out for individual songs as well.
or
Rolling Stones, out of all the things they're famous for me, "Sympathy for the Devil" is just my favourite.
Sympathy for the Devil, yeah. Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth. Adore that song. Absolutely mental. It's
Megadeth. Usually people go for things like Holy Wars with Megadeth. It's they still got a good guitar riff to it. That's the key to a lot of stuff.
I was a ska lad, so the Jam specials, Jam and the specials were great. I always loved it. I loved the Eagles. Take It Easy is a fantastic tune. One of These Nights, Hotel California.
Yeah, I love all that.
The Doors, the Roadhouse Blues. Everyone loves the Roadhouse Blues.
What about Level 42? I see them in concert.
Yeah.
They were good.
Led Zeppelin, every member was a top master of their trade. Absolutely. Robert Plant, you can't forget, apart from his affiliation to Beavertown Beer. Boo. Boo.
You can't boo him for that.
Yes, we can. Because it's
go on.
It's owned by 15% is owned by Lenik now, so no. One of my all-time favorite, Sympathy of the Devil. Yeah. Lion Eyes, great. Have you seen The Irish Wake when the dead man's friends and Mr. Brightside and the whole pub was jumping? What a send off! Check that out. Mr. Brightside's great. The Animals. The Eagles did a cover of Old 55 by Tom Waits. It's great. Might have to watch that. And everyone's agreeing you. Sympathy for the Devil. Good song.
I think that and Paint It Black would be the number 2 for me.
Paint It Black is great. I'm not the biggest Stone fan, but I do like the Stones. I'll go back to one of my favourite they're probably AC/DC's only ballad, which was Hell's Bells. 2 unbelievable guitar parts that just in total alignment, so totally different, but just line up perfectly. And then you've got the vocals.
I think something else I liked about the Stones as well when listening to them on, vinyl, as you do, is the amount of tracks that are really short. They're like 1 minute 40 and stuff. Yeah, it's like cut out all of the unnecessary stuff. You just get the mood of the song out there, and it stays with you. It's brilliant. That's genius to me. Some bands will repeat their stuff, repeat choruses like 9 times. You don't need to if you got everything there you need to listen to. It's like a perfect soundbite of quality music for me.
The only song where that works again is Black Dog, because you can just listen to that guitar part all day. You can repeat that 10 million times because it's just that good. But again, a lot of it is
again though, if they'd cut that down to like a minute recording, but it just has that guitar bit in there, you're gonna remember it.
All good. Right. Favourite artist ever?
What artist?
Music.
Oh.
We need to know this by the end of the song, Mark. Everyone put your favourite artist.
Not telling you your own trade, Ben, or anything, but have you made people coffees?
Not yet. We'll do that after the stream. We'll do it after the stream.
Stream room first, coffee shop second.
We can't leave our guests in the show, but you can.
Who's your favourite artist, Mark? Because you like a lot of different ones.
Exactly, that's going to be a really difficult.
Well,
Mark goes from really, really heavy music to sort of like country blues, don't you?
Crazy. One of the best party songs. The Beatles were the same. Very short. Beatles music was very short, no more than 3 minutes. The Beatles are wonderful. Favorite solo artist, David Bowie. Yeah, David Bowie.
I never got into Bowie. I can see why people did. It just wasn't for me.
No, I didn't like
Rebel.
Yeah, it's like Beyonce, for example. I can appreciate that she's a great singer. I just don't really like the music.
Again, just like Beavertown. Boo! Beyonce, boo! Boo! I do like Beyonce.
But it just did remind me though when I'm talking about great female singers.
Yeah.
Annie Lennox and the Eurythmics. Absolutely love them.
Okay.
Powerful voice, yeah.
Not a big fan, but yeah, good music. The Eurythmics are great.
I used to like. Do you remember Bananarama?
But I've seen Bananarama live.
Right. Yeah, I have as well.
Bananarama live.
Do you remember the
I've seen them twice.
Yeah. I've also seen mid-year of Ultravox. Ultravox were wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Ultravox were brilliant. I've seen Duran Duran as well.
No, I didn't like them.
Duran Duran's great. Best quiff ever. Everyone likes that hairstyle.
And another one I've seen live, that possibly the best live performance I've ever seen. It's by somebody I didn't think I thought I'd be too old for him and everything, but got a free ticket. Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson,
Yeah.
What a showman! Forget what you see on video. Watching them live is something else. Really is. You feel so involved in it.
If I could afford the tickets, I'd love to go and see Kiss, but I think it's like £100+ each for a ticket now. It's just too. I love Kiss. Kiss are absolutely brilliant.
Well, it's Homer Simpson's favourite, isn't it?
No, Peter Griffin.
Peter Griffin. Yep. Sorry. Yep. Wrong show.
It's great. Always loved you, Cooper, but we're done comparing Burry to Beyonce. Oh no!
No, it's not comparing. It's just saying I can respect.
You're not going to be done by your football opinions, Coob. You're going to be done by comparing David Burry to Beyonce.
That's fine.
Who would have thought that's what you get cancelled for?
You can take shots over that all you like because I don't care.
Yeah. Do you remember Painting It Black was the theme of the song of a Vietnam series in the 80s tour of the duty? Yeah.
That's what got me into that song, to be honest. I love that series.
Paul McCartney was 5'10", so not so short. Interesting. Big up Paul Stewart from Nightbot. Big up Paul Stewart. Greatest singer is Whitney Houston. I don't think so.
People could reach some high notes though.
But she's not the greatest female singer ever. She's really good. I know.
The greatest female singer ever has got to be Polly Starring, hasn't it?
Yeah.
X-ray Specs.
Not a Celine Dion.
Celine Dion's good. Again, I would put Adele above Whitney Houston. I would put Adele. How many people doesn't have a song for like 15 years, comes back diamond? Not many people can do that. I would put Adele above Whitney Houston. Tina Turner, absolutely brilliant.
Voice. And who was the lady with long black hair? Cher.
Quite a lot of people with long black hair. Orbison, Petty, George Harrison, Bob Dylan, mic drop. Yeah. Cinderella from the 80s. Don't know what you've got until it's gone. Absolutely. 5'10", standing on the box. Yeah, me to Cuba, Tour of Duty, Aretha Franklin again.
Yeah, well.
Absolutely.
As soon as somebody brings up Aretha Franklin, it's kind of stops the debate for a lot of people.
It is also, speaking of which, it is Sister Rosetta's birthday. One of the greatest guitar players ever. Another one of the greatest female singers of all time. So she's not alive anymore, but happy birthday to you. Auntie Dionne Warwick was better. Ella Fitzgerald is phenomenal.
Oh yes.
Ella Fitzgerald. One of my favorites.
Billie Holiday as well.
And Louis Armstrong. Absolutely stunning.
Billie Holiday as well. Absolutely haunting.
Yeah. Mariah Carey. She only comes out at Christmas, though. So what's the point of that?
It's a belter, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a belter, but it's the same song, isn't it? Just record the same song over and over again.
I forgot who it was who said that. It was like, if you want to make it in the music industry, just get your Christmas song sorted. You're minted for life.
Biggest waste of talent.
CD back in the 80s. She did have quite a lot of songs.
Yeah, she did. Amy Winehouse, phenomenal.
Yeah,
loved Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, that's so tragic. That you could say
any artist.
You could say a lot of it's her own fault, but I mean, it's still a tragedy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what happens. You can't control it. Another one in that reign, Karen Carpenter. No one talks about her. She was stunning. She could not. Anorexia is a horrible illness to have. Yeah. That was
hell of a voice. Hell of a voice.
An unbelievable drummer as well. Like, no one knows that she was one of the best drummers alive at the time. Like,
No, I didn't know that.
she was one of the best drummers in the world. That's why she was so good, because she could keep time. She kept time. And Roy Orbison's voice. Roy Orbison's great.
Yeah.
Nat King Cole. Phil P is saying respect Mariah. Woo!
Nat King Cole's a good shout.
Yeah.
A hell of a crooner. Yeah.
Barry
It was always my mum and
Barry
dad's
White.
favourite.
Oh, I love
Barry White. Everyone loves Barry White. Can't miss Dolly Parton as well. Dolly Parton's great.
I prefer
Again, Houston's best ever song was written by Dolly Parton.
Yeah, and I prefer
I Will
Dolly
Always
Parton.
Love You. That's a Dolly Parton song.
Yeah, I actually prefer Dolly Parton's version
Yeah,
of it.
it's better.
Yeah.
Because it's real. It's not overproduced. It's the song. It's the meaning of the song. And she's told the story of the song. 100%. She was amazing. You're right. Drums were her passion before singing. Yep. She was one of the best drummers on the planet. She was excellent at it. Neil Young songwriting, Southern Man. Yep.
To switch up the genre a little bit. One of my all-time greats, favourites.
Yeah.
Def Leppard.
Def Leppard. They're a bit cheesy, but it works. It works. Glam metal was brilliant.
Always going to be best known for having a one-armed drummer, aren't they?
Yeah, the Thunder God. The Thunder God. Dolly Wright, I always love you. And Jolene in the same day. The same day. Yep. A lot of that was, again, it was down. Chet Atkins worked on that. So if anyone doesn't know Chet Atkins and his guitar playing, he was also an unbelievable producer. And that he helped her on that one. Chet Atkins was a genius. You've got to say your best art. You two are slacking before we end the show, because we're hitting that hour mark.
Well, I'm trying to think of one.
Yeah, I am.
Loads over my head.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac.
Saying about the Dolly Parton writing them on the same day,
Yeah.
it's kind of reminds me of that weekend. The different change of subject, but the weekend where Bram Stoker and Mary Shelley all got together.
Yeah.
Who was the third one? I've forgotten that.
Yeah.
But then they gave birth to basically Frankenstein, Dracula, and the werewolf all on the same weekend. Bloody hell!
Yeah.
That's a serious bit of jamming, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Serious bit of jamming. But unfortunately, on that note,
Should we end it with Little Mix?
no, sod that.
They were good
They
live.
were good.
We took Bracken last year.
Sod that. No little mix. No little mix. But on that note, Kuva, what's happening with you on the streams this week?
Hopefully, I'm going to avoid as much football as possible.
Yeah.
I'll tune into Shelfside Spurs if they're going on Thursday, which they might not be.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
they were doing the watch along.
oh well, I'm not bothered if it's a watch along.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah, a not watch along. That's what I should be doing to launch my own channel.
Yeah, not watch along. Watch a movie instead.
Not Spurs. Anything not Spurs, like refugees from the Spurs community.
Yeah.
Anyway, otherwise, Bobby K and I doing this 3 Spurs boys.
Is that
we
on
did last
Sunday?
weekend. This weekend, it's going to be in the Wall.
Yeah. 10:45.
Yeah. So, other than that, it's your coffee shop.
Yeah.
Shelfside Spurs, Bob Spurs, and 3 Spurs boys. You know, I like going on shows with certain people. I like being on. I like streaming with Sava, for example. Always get on well with them.
Yeah.
Some of the others in the crowd, the usual crowds I'm with. I'm just not bothered about talking Spurs and football at the moment.
Absolutely.
I think last night completely killed it for me. I just felt completely. Everybody's talking about how exhausted we were in the morning.
Yeah.
Because the stream went on for ages. It gets tiring, doesn't it? Needs something nice to happen.
Yeah. That's why I refused to go on the show. I was just like, I don't want to be arguing till 1 a.m. That's not what I want to do. That's not why I started doing this. I like doing stuff like this. But again, that's what happens in this fan base, and it all goes down to that tosser at the top. So thank you all so much for watching today's show. We will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. UK time, as always. And
Levy out.
Levy out. And Yeah, football is balls, Phil. Football is balls. Thank you all so much for watching today's show. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And as always, if you smell what the cough is brewing. Thank you all so much for watching today's show. Have a great rest of your day. Ciao for now. Ciao for now.